Hello and welcome to this video tour of Bellevue University's main campus. We're happy to have you with us to show you our beautiful 46-acre campus in Bellevue, Nebraska. We'll start our journey at the Marge H. Durham Student Center. Built in 1986, the Student Center serves as a student hub for dining services, has patio space for bonfires and hanging out, recreation space for campus events, and even a game room. Less than a block from main campus is the new student housing Betts Road complex. Opened in the fall of 2017, the complex has 18 units with 72 single rooms. Each apartment has 4 single bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a kitchen, a living area, and furnishings, including a washer and dryer in each unit. On the south corner of campus is the Gilbert M. and Martha H. Hitchcock Humanities Center. Upon entering through the front doors, you're met by a 280-seat auditorium with state-of-the-art digital systems. The Humanities Center lobby is where you'll find the College of Business with faculty offices and also an art gallery which serves as the site of student art shows and the yearly faculty staff art show. Down the hallway are connected learning classrooms, traditional classrooms, and also the new Intelligence Systems Lab, built for data sciences, systems network administration, cybersecurity, and other programs using the latest technology. Next to the Humanities Center is the Durham Administration Building. Durham was the only campus building when the school began as Bellevue College in 1966. It previously held classrooms, labs, a library, administrative and faculty offices, and even a small student lounge. Today, it is home to residents and student life, global student experience, high school admissions, and residential academic advising. Next up is the Gordon Logier Athletic Center. The Athletic Center houses the Jerry Mosser Court, administrative offices, and the new esports arena deemed the Bruin Bunker. The facility is home to the university's NAIA-sanctioned sports programs: baseball, softball, volleyball, men's and women's basketball, men's and women's golf, men's and women's soccer, and men's and women's cross country. The co-ed esports team competes in League of Legends, Overwatch, and Hearthstone. What would a college campus be without a library? The Freeman Logier Library has the largest library collection in Sarpy County. Along with plenty of books, the library includes an integrated media center which allows students access to computerized and web-based resources with training facilities to teach students how to effectively use these resources. Located in the back hall of the library, the Learning Commons is an important support office with consultants and peer tutors ready to assist you in the Tutor and Study Skills program and Writing Center. North of the library is the Riley Technology Center, also known as RTC. Here, you'll find the math lab, complete with a classroom, computer lab, and breakout rooms. Take one class in the math lab, and your feelings about learning math will be changed forever. Take some time and check out a tablet with the university's friendly computer services staff. A private high school, Quest Forward Academy, is also located in RTC. Next to the Student Center is the R. Joe Dennis Learning Center. Updated in the fall of 2019, this building has the most classrooms on campus. The Learning Center is home to the College of Arts and Sciences office, the Test Center, 4 state-of-the-art science labs, connected learning classrooms, and various full-time faculty offices. Another staple on main campus is the Hollis and Helen Barrett bookstore. Textbooks for most classes can be purchased here, along with apparel and other supplies. Inside the bookstore is a hidden art studio you'd never expect to find there. Our next stop is the Educational Services Building. The Educational Services Building, ESB, as it's known, houses classrooms and the College of Science and Technology on its lower level. On the middle and upper levels, there are additional College of Arts and Science faculty and staff offices. Career Services is also found on the third floor. Everyone's favorite thing about this building seems to be the amazing indoor waterfall. Attached to the ESB is the John B. Mueller Administrative Services Building, or ASB. Built in 2011, the ASB is the tallest building in Bellevue, Nebraska. Right inside the front doors is the One Stop Welcome Center and Support Desk. One Stop provides a one-stop shop for current and prospective students to meet with admissions, advising, and financial services staff. Disability services, as well as scholarships and grants, are other helpful resources located in the ASB. Right across the street from the ASB is the Military Veteran Services Center. Bellevue University is a proud Purple Heart university and welcomes veterans and their families to the university and the community. The Bruin Training and Athletics Center is a regular stop for Bruin student athletes and has wellness equipment and a weight room that are free for all students to use. We hope you enjoyed this tour of Bellevue University's main campus. See you soon.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to New Student Orientation at Bellevue University. We are very glad that you are here. We have a lot of fun stuff planned for you tonight, but we will be thorough yet concise so that we don't take up too much of your time. If you missed part of that campus tour video when we were beginning and waiting for everybody to get logged in, it will be part of the recording that will be sent out after this session. And you can find it on YouTube or on bellevue.edu. So just holler at us if you would like the link for that. We're going to get started here, and we will have some welcome remarks from our president, Dr. Mary Hawkins, and Dean Mary Dobransky to get you started. And then we'll go through a lot of helpful information and tips and resources for you to be successful. So without further ado, Dr. Mary Hawkins.
Well, welcome, Bruins. We're excited to have you join our community. And I'm sorry we can't meet in person. And I have to say, when I watched the welcome video, it's so disorienting to see no people in it. And I'm anxious and awaiting a time when, shortly, I hope, when we'll all be able to interact in person when we choose to, but have a much livelier non-COVID quarantine campus. And we have weathered the quarantine and the COVID pandemic very well. And I'm so appreciative to our students. And those of you who are coming in new will know that you're with a group of people who respect and care about your safety, your health, and your well-being. So we have a great track record. Rather than talk to you about some of the great things that Elena and Mary and the other folks are going to tell you, I wanted you to know that you're joining a very interesting campus. We were established in 1966. However, there's actually a history before that. In the late 1800s, there was a Bellevue College, and it was also in Bellevue. It was affiliated with a church, and it closed down in the 1900s, about 1910 to 20. And when we came back as a university in 1966, some of the students who knew about the old history learned that there was a boulder type of rock that said Bellevue College, and it had the established dates and everything else. That had been moved out to Hastings when the first Bellevue College closed down. And those students, under cover of darkness, went out to Hastings and brought that rock back. If you're on campus, it's between the administration building, humanities building, and gym, but it's still there to this day. And luckily, no Hastings College students have gotten the idea to come back and retrieve that big boulder of Bellevue College. The other thing, when we started, It was actually a serviceman. He was a veteran and a war hero from World War II. He came back to this area and was very frustrated about the fact that there was no way for him to finish his degree if he was working. There weren't night or evening classes. They were just kind of craft classes or auto classes or gardening classes or change your oil classes. And he thought that we really needed a college in Bellevue that a working adult after work or on the weekends, evenings, could finish college. And so he went to the Chamber of Commerce, started Bellevue, at that time, Bellevue College, with a lot of support from the community and Offutt Air Force Base, which is close by. What's interesting about that, though, were they were very pragmatic businessmen, and they thought, what if the college doesn't make it? This is a risk. We don't know how it's going to go. So if you're ever in our library and you look out, you'll see a whole line of windows around Galvin Street, because their plan was, if the college doesn't work, we can turn that into an auto dealership and we can have the cars in the windows and sell cars. So while they were very entrepreneurial and innovative, they were also very savvy and thought, okay, what's our backup plan? So luckily, we're almost 60 years old and doing fine, have about 60,000 alumni who have graduated, and we hope that those connections and that network may help you with your career. But the university is kind of a little bit of that Wild West, give things a try, be smart and savvy, and take risks. And you'll see that as you go forward. We're an informal, work hard and have fun kind of place. And I hope that you find that in your studies and in your work with faculty and staff at the university. We all have the same goals in mind, student success, opportunity, making sure our programs are relevant and meaningful to you, but we do it in a way that we have fun and work hard at the same time. The other thing I'll tell you is that the university, and I think you saw in the video, has a number of athletic teams. We have a lot of neat facilities. There's clubs and organizations. We're not a big party school, but we do have residence halls. We have student housing. We have a lot of services and run year round for you. So you're always going to find support, people you can talk to, ask questions of, or other resources that you need. I also want to point out that it's really important for you to know that your voices are heard. When we ask you for feedback, what's working, what's not working, what are your ideas, we seriously take them to heart. And Elena Smith, who introduced me just a minute ago, has been remodeling this orientation. She uses student feedback every time she has an orientation, and we use that feedback to improve it. So please know that's just one example. There's other examples. We've done things around making sure that students are much more aware of when holidays are. We've changed food service. We've adapted different hours of operation. Your voice is heard. When we ask you for feedback and you give it to us, we use it, and you will see those changes. So do not be afraid to make suggestions for us. As I said when I started this, welcome Bruins. We're thrilled to have you here. We hope you have nothing but success and have a great time earning your degree, make great friends, build good relationships, and out of that, have a great start on your careers. So I will now turn it over to Mary Dobransky. Mary and I have both worked at the university for a while. She's the dean of the College of Science and Technology and has done so much innovative work around the university. Her what would we call it? Her fingers and her signs of her progress are all over the campus.
Thank you so much, Mary. And welcome. As Mary said, as Elena said, welcome to Bellevue University. We're so glad you're here. We're so excited. And we know that you're going to have a great experience at Bellevue University. I'm going to talk just a few minutes about our values at Bellevue so that you know what kind of culture you're going to be working in and studying in. One is integrity. Do the right thing and make sure you follow up on what you're supposed to do. And you'll find that the people that you will work with, your teachers, the staff, your coworkers, excuse me, your co-students, you'll all be working together and you'll all be able to experience benefits of the integrity that you'll see at the university. Another value is the value of education. That's one of our core values. And you are already thinking about that because you're registered for school. So you're already thinking, what is it? You see a value that's important to you. So think about that as you go through your journey. Think about what is valuable to you in getting your degree at Bellevue University, and keep that with you. Keep that. That's going to be your North Star for a couple of years now. So keep that with you. There's certainly very tangible values to education. You will be able to take the skills and the knowledge that you gain here and transfer those to make our society a better place. You'll be able to help your community, and you'll be able to do more for your family and your personal life. And certainly there's a value in earnings. Uh, it's about $2.8 million that students with bachelor's degrees will on average over a lifetime will make more than students without bachelor's degrees. So you'll certainly be able to enjoy greater employment opportunities and increased compensation. So that's ahead. So don't stop, just keep sticking with it. Another value, student success. We're here for you. The culture of Bellevue University is truly oriented around the success of our students. You'll find every person that you meet, no matter what their job is, they are ready to help you with whatever you need. It could be your teacher, it could be the administration staff, it could be the deans, everybody. We're all here and ready to help you out. So don't hesitate to ask for help when you need it. You'll also find incredible support services, which you'll learn more about tonight, I'm sure. Writing, there's assistance for writing, for tutoring, and so many other things. The library is phenomenal, and you'll learn about that. So you'll find a lot of success support here. Innovation, as Mary Hawkins talked about a little bit, innovation is all over the university, and you're going to see innovation. And I do love to be part of the innovation of Bellevue University, but you're going to see it all over the place. You're going to see it when you come to campus, or even when you're far away, you'll be able to log into our classrooms. Our classrooms are technology enabled. So no matter where you are, you're going to be able to join a classroom. You're going to see it in our labs. We have exciting, innovative labs. We have an intelligence systems labs where our cybersecurity and networking students and data science students meet. We have a brand new greenhouse. We have an Internet of Things lab that we're starting in the fall. We have an outdoor sustainability lab. And these things, I know they sound like they might be far away for you, but they are connected to technology. So no matter where you are, you're going to be able to enjoy these facilities that we have and the innovations on campus. And finally, and probably most important, is the care for others. You're going to find caring individuals who are ready to assist you and who are going to help you out. And those could be your teachers. I just had a teacher tell me, she just sent me a note, and the student who had a hard time in class had a lot of obstacles. And you will find that every single day there's going to be bumps in the road as you go through your education, but we'll solve those and we'll help you to do that. But the student had a hard time, gotten behind, was out sick. I think their car was stolen. It was really quite a list of things. And so the teacher gave them a little more time and just kept encouraging that student, keep going, don't quit, don't drop the class, you can do this. And the student did it. They got all their work done, and the teacher got a note from the student. The student said that they will remember the care of that student, of that teacher forever. And so you will find that. You might find yourself in a bit of a pinch where you need some care. And you might find yourself also being the person that's caring for others. If you see your classmates need a little bit of a lift, even your teacher might need a nice note occasionally. So I encourage you to surround yourself with people that are interested in your success and that care for your success, and to be one of those people that cares for others as well. So welcome to Bellevue University. I hope you enjoy the evening.
All right, great. Thank you very much, President Hawkins and Dean Dobransky. We appreciate your welcome, all of your kind words. We are going to now go to a video of students and faculty giving you their little pieces of advice. These bits of advice, tips, and tricks are for any student, whether you are on campus or you are online, whether you are undergraduate or graduate. So please enjoy some of their words here for a few moments, and then we will get moving on to answering some of the questions that you may have regarding all of our resources on campus, important technology systems that you'll have to log into, and we'll take a quick overview guide through all of those things. So please enjoy.
I am Dr. Brenda Michaels. I am a faculty member at Bellevue University, and I chair two departments, the Sport Management Department and the Health and Human Performance Department. I've been at Bellevue for, this is I think my 13th year. So I've been here for a while, and I've kind of seen some different trends, and I've dealt with a lot of students. And so first of all, I want to welcome you to Bellevue, but I also want to talk a little bit about what it takes to be successful at Bellevue. And so my theme, I guess, in terms of what I would want to communicate with you is in regards to communication. And communication is so important. We hear that all over the world, but communication at Bellevue University looks a little bit different. Whether you're a residential student, whether you're an online student, it looks a little bit different, but really it has a lot of the same components to it. So for example, if you're working with a faculty member, I really am a proponent of communication with faculty. We want to hear from you guys. I don't teach to just type out stuff to my online students or just to lecture to my residential students. I teach because I want to have conversations with you, our students. So don't be afraid to reach out to the faculty. I think most faculty here really want to hear from their students. We want to hear what's going on not only in class and what questions you have, but I want to hear what's going on outside of class. What kinds of jobs are you looking at applying for, and how could we set you up to be successful as you apply for those jobs? What are some different paths that you could go in terms of your career and with your major? Those are the kind of conversations that faculty want to have with students. When you do talk with faculty, it's important that you recognize it's a professional relationship. And so as you email faculty, make sure that you say, Dr. Michaels, blah, 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 and you sign your name. Same thing when you're dealing with staff around campus. You have a team of individuals that are going to support you throughout your journey at Bellevue, but you've also got to be professional in your communication with them. So instead of texting them an email, give them a professional email that you sign, and you use capital letters and periods and all of those kinds of things. So another point with communication that I'd like to make is that we all go through difficult times. Whether it be we have a funeral that we need to attend, whether we are sick, whether our kids are sick, or what have you, there's always going to be difficult times. And we at Bellevue understand that. And we go through those same things as what you do. So again, it's important that you communicate. Communicate ahead of that. As soon as something happens, let us know what's going on in your life. If you need an extension, communicate with us. If you're thinking about dropping a class and you think, that's just, I'm overwhelmed right now, talk with your advisor and let's come up with solutions, because ultimately we want to see you successful. And so we will help you be successful, but you've got to communicate with us. So in wrapping everything up, again, my message to you is to make sure that you communicate. If you communicate well, you will be successful at Bellevue. There's a lot of faculty out there, a lot of staff out there willing to help and willing to meet you both ways. And so have a great time at Bellevue. I look forward to hopefully having some of you in class, and take care.
First of all, I want to say welcome to Bellevue. My name's Nate Frazier, and I'm a biology major. I'm in my 4th year, so I've had a lot of experience here on campus and a lot of time to learn and figure out what's worked best for me and what I've used to succeed. Those being the resources on campus. We have tons of different resources on campus that you can use that will help you throughout your career here at Bellevue. A couple of those being the Writing Center. If you have a big paper coming up, which inevitably in college you will, it's never a bad idea to go to the Writing Center and get their help to make your paper the best that it can be. Also located in the library is the Tutoring Center, which if you're stuck on anything, they have tutors from all degree paths that are there to help you and make sure that you get the information down pat to get ready for that big test that you're studying for. I would also say that some of the tips that help me personally is don't procrastinate, get your work done early, get it done soon, that way you don't have to worry about it, and always study, dedicate a lot of time to studying, because that is what will make you successful. I would also say that you should keep in touch with your academic advisor. They're here to help you. They'll set you up with your classes. If you need any help, if you want to switch up your class, if there's one you don't particularly like and you want to drop it and pick up a new one, they are there for you to help you get the education that you want. I personally have used my advisor when I was bringing in credits from a different college, and she was very helpful working with me to study the courses and see if any of my credits would roll over. And thankfully, they did. These are the tips that I can give you to help you succeed. Welcome to Bellevue, and best of luck.
My name is Tamara Spencer. I am in the hospitality management cohort here at Bellevue University. So I did a semester traditionally just to get my mindset back into, okay, we're doing this. And then went into the cohort program, which is all online, which works better for my situation. I am a mother of 3 teenagers, 2 of them which are high function autistic. So we have a lot of fun. School can happen for anybody. If I can get into it and I'm almost done, then anybody can do it. I have been noticing some things for myself that have worked for me. Communicating with the professors is a big deal. They are here to help you. They want to help you in any way they can so you can actually make it through. Some have even said that you can text them, which is crazy for a professor to say, but that's what they do. You can call them, you can text them, you can email them. They are open for that conversation. If something comes up and you're missing, an assignment or it's going to be late, open up to them, contact them. They'll more likely be happy to help you or be open to help you. Another thing for me that is major is time management. I have 3 teenagers who are in activities galore, from basketball to volleyball to cheerleading to swimming. Then you have life, period, dinner, you have school work, mine and my kids, and you also have the weekend activities as well. So you really have to make sure you block out time for everything. If you saw my calendar right now, it's blocks of color, just color everywhere. My school time is actually when the kids are supposed to be in bed, which is from 9 to midnight. So that gives me time to decompress, go over my stuff, and get it done. And you have to make time for yourself. You do not want to stress out. You do not want to burn out. It's not worth it. It's definitely possible. I'm doing it, and you can too.
All right, so hopefully you heard some themes there in some of these tips for success from our faculty member and our students. We serve students of all kinds, students who are taking classes here on campus, students who are taking classes across the country, students who grew up down the block, and then students who grew up around the world. So you'll find a lot of diversity of experiences in the classroom. And I hope that you can really embrace and appreciate all of those varying perspectives that you'll get, and you'll be able to enrich that classroom experience so much more. And you will be able to find plenty of people that you can relate to, whomever you are. I promise you that. So please take all of these bits of advice to heart, and know that if anything, please ask for help and reach out. We are going to get started now on some of the resources available to you. This slide is sort of an overview of some of the most important things. You don't need to memorize, and you don't need to take a lot of notes or bookmark a bunch of things today, but these few places are your key sources, in addition to your academic advisor, student coach, who you've heard mentioned a couple of times, that we'll talk about a little bit later. But Bruin Support Services, many of you have probably already encountered. Their help page is extremely important. And if you go onto the help page at the top of each bellevue.edu webpage, you can find frequently asked questions, resources, how-to guides. You can type in your search question and it will provide you with the most up-to-date information. A lot of our other resources might point to answers from this page as well. So that's how important this help page is for you to become familiar with and for you to maybe go to first if you have a question about anything. Something else that I would like to point out is that on the website, you can find our academic catalog. We also have a new student orientation guide that we are going to put as a PDF link into the chat function for you to access. We will also send that link out again later on and with the recording of this session to your email. And that is a quick PDF that you can download and save to your desktop that has an overview of all of these services that we will cover in systems today as well. There are a few things that I will show you as new student training library, a little bit later for some of the computer systems. And very importantly, for you to feel connected wherever you are. We want you to feel like you're a part of this campus. That's why we talk about facilities a whole lot, because you have access to the resources on campus no matter where you are. And downloading the BU app and staying connected and being engaged is a really good way for you to feel like you are part of this Bruin family, if you will, even if you're not here on campus. You can find out more about services there as well, in orientation guide. And if you are monitoring and watching the app, you can even win prizes and we will mail them to your house no matter where you are. So please, reach out and make the most of your experience, even if you are online, which a lot of you probably are. Technology, most importantly, Bruin Connect. I believe many of you at this point, depending on when you were registered for your courses, have logged into Bruin Connect. If you have not already, you will be invited to do so. You will go to the login page and the Bruin Connect. Almost all of our systems will redirect you to this single sign-on functionality. If you have not done it yet, you will need to create an account and it will have you set up authentication through a phone number or another email in order for you to have access and then recovery if needed later on, set up security questions and things like that. Once you are into your Bruin Connect, this is kind of your main hub or dashboard for most of your systems, including your email and your online classroom Blackboard. So we'll go through each of these a little bit more in detail next and sort of highlight some of the important functions of these and what it might look like for you once you're able to get in, right? We're gonna start with Office 365, which is where you will operate your email and any software programs you need to participate in your classes, create your papers, all of those fun things. So you can access this through Bruin Connect. If you try to just go to office.com or outlook.com, it'll redirect you to Bruin Connect based on your email. That is accurate. Just be aware that that is how the process will work. So it'll flow everything through Bruin Connect. You can also find your email address in your Bruin student portal, which we'll talk about later, if you have not done so already. Once you are into Office 365, you can see the full suite of programs after you begin classes. So if you have not started classes yet, some of these things may not show, and that is okay, as intended. They will show up for you once classes begin. You can also install Office to a desktop laptop if you would like to have those standalone functions on that computer, or you can just continue to use the web versions. If you need a little bit of practice with Office 365 and how to work some of the software programs, this is one key area that's available in the student training library. And I'll show you one very quick way to find a link to this in just a few moments. So Office 365, great way to manage your papers. You can use the OneDrive function, access things from anywhere that you are on a phone, a tablet, a laptop, desktop, all of that fun stuff. So now we will continue on to Blackboard. You'll hear CyberActive Blackboard, oftentimes shortened just to Blackboard. This is where all of our online and in-class courses are conducted. Even if you're on campus, you will have online components. If you're an online student, it might be a little bit more robust. And that is the only way really that you'll engage in your class, unless there's some kind of connected learning component in which you will log into Zoom for joining into a classroom, like Dean Dobransky mentioned earlier. It varies by program and it varies by class. So if you go to the Blackboard login, again, it will redirect you to Bruin Connect. So you'll use those credentials like you do in your other systems to get into Blackboard. Before you go into your courses, I would like you to pay close attention to the institution page on the left menu. The institution page is a place where we have links to a lot of the things that we will cover today, such as that training library. You can submit feedback. As President Hawkins said, we really take all of your feedback to heart, and we really do listen to you. People may follow up with you and ask you more about a survey you filled out or reply to your emails, and we're very appreciative for that input. You can submit technology tickets this way. If you're having issues, you can contact Bruin support for passwords and email and all of that. And this is also a place where you can find out more about campus services and campus resources. Once you are ready to get into your course, you will go to the courses menu item on the left. Your courses do not show up and you do not have access until 3 days prior. So if you start next week or you started last week, you'll have access here pretty soon. But if you don't start until the traditional term calendar on March 15th, then you will not see your courses and be able to get into them until next Friday, the 3 days before. So I'm going to take you through a sample of a course template that you might see. It's important to know that every course is a little bit different. Generally, this menu will look very similar on the left-hand side. You will have announcements that will sort of default when you open your classroom. And there will be a welcome announcement in the beginning, and then you might receive weekly announcements, or you might receive just occasional announcements. It depends on the faculty member. Could be multiple announcements a week. So make sure that you are checking there for updates from your faculty member. Once you're able to get into your course, you want to go to the syllabus item. And this is where you can find the ever important syllabi information. This will tell you how to sort of plan out your time for the assignments throughout the term, the schedule, the reading, the point values of all of the work that you will have to do. This also has the book information, but I will show you in a short while how to find book information before you have access to your courses. So the syllabus is kind of like your roadmap to each course. Make sure you are reading it thoroughly, saving it in an accessible place to reference at any point, always going to that. If you have a question or you're wondering about something, your faculty member may put a lot of detail and a lot of instruction in the syllabus. Some might be short and generic, others might be really, really explanatory. So make sure you're focusing on the syllabus. Then once you have access to the weekly folders, and every faculty member is a little different, they might only open each week at a time. They might open all of them up at the beginning of the course. You likely won't see them open until the first day of class, but each week will have in it the reading for that week, the links to submit assignments, to participate in a discussion board, to upload your papers, or to take a test or a chapter quiz, for example. Those are the most common types of assignments. But again, each class and program varies. So depending on the course, you might have other types of assignments to submit. Those will be described in both the syllabus and then in further detail within each week of the Blackboard classroom. Those are the most important areas to take a look at. You can view the grades link, which will take you to your grade book, and you can see that your progress throughout the course. You can contact the instructor through Blackboard as well. And you can find links to other resources on campus within your courses, as well as within that larger institutional page. Again, Blackboard really does provide you with a lot of information right in there so that you don't have to go searching elsewhere, but it's important to become familiar with what's there compared to with what you need to find in Bruin, for example, which we're going to cover next. Bruin Student Portal is currently the main thing that is separate from the Bruin Connect single sign-on function. So this is your student records system. This is where you'll be able to log in separately. It's on that login page again that we started with. And once you get into it, you'll have sort of a little dashboard, and it has lots of tiles that you can choose from. The profile tile is where I mentioned again, you can look for your student email address. If for some reason you don't have that still in another email from when you originally applied and got registered, you can edit your addresses and your phones here as well. That's very important to keep those pieces of information up to date. You know, if we don't have your correct address to send a refund, for example, then a paper check could be sent elsewhere. But I'll talk about how to set up an e-refund in a minute. Academic progress is where you can view your degree progress. So how many more requirements you have left. You can also look at your grades. You can order transcripts and essentially look at your GPA and all of those kinds of things within this Bruin Student Portal. So again, Bruin Student Portal is your academic record. When you manage classes you want to enroll and then confirm you're registered in them and they show up properly, you can look at all of those things, complete some registration, as well as look at textbooks, which we'll go to next. Miscellaneous links and forms. You may sometimes hear from your academic advisor or student coach to log into Bruin, go to this area, and then get further instructions. If you can see it, you can explore it. So feel free to click around and take a look at some of the additional things that are within this area, but it will typically be once you receive instructions to go complete something. And then very important areas within are financial aid and student account areas. So we can talk a little bit about money in a minute. Textbook information, under that My Classes, if you remember, you will pull up the current term that you want to look for after you're enrolled. Then you'll select the class. And then within the class information, all the way on the right last tab is the Textbook Other Materials tab. So this is a way for you to find the exact assigned materials for your course. It will link you straight to the bookstore, and it will provide you with exactly what you need for that course. You can also go out to the bookstore and search by the course codes and the section numbers, but this is a much quicker way to link you directly to that information, and you don't have to bother searching. So in Bruin, manage classes, select the term, then the course, and you look for this textbook and other materials tab. And that will save you a lot of time. Moving on to another area regarding your student account, TouchNet is a vendor that we use in order to process payments as well as refunds. So on your financial account tile within Bruin, you will see on the left menu the View Pay My Bill item. Once you are in that area, you can click on the financial account suite, and it will pull up your TouchNet account. You can make a payment here. You can see how much you owe, look at your last payment, all of those fun things. You can set up your refund here to be provided to you electronically. It is very important to understand how refunds work. It can take up to 7 business days to receive a refund after the funds have dispersed 2 weeks into your class. We get a lot of questions about disbursement and refunds, when things are due, how to set up the direct deposits. So please go into that financial account area of Bruin so that you can get all of that set up well in advance and feel prepared and ready for whenever that disperses. You can also look at the due dates and the disbursement dates within that area for each of your classes. We have courses that run on various calendar starts, so it really is important if you're in a cohort in particular to look at the, can somebody come in here and make the lights go back on, please? Sorry, we did not, we knew there would be something funny that would happen tonight. I apologize for that interruption. If you're on a cohort calendar, then it's important to know that some of your dates may be different than some of the traditional term 12-week or 10-week dates. So be sure that you are looking at your specific course enrollment in Bruin to know the dates for when payments are due or when things might be dispersed. And I know that there might be a lot of questions regarding some of this. You can put questions in the Q&A as we're going along. We have Missy in advising and Maris and Bruin support answering some of those for you. So I thank them for their time today. All right, speaking of money, financial aid, when we talk about disbursements, financial aid is in a different tile. So you'll want to go into the financial aid documents tile, or if you remember seeing the financial aid portal in the Bruin Connect dashboard, you can get to it that way as well. This is one of the systems that goes through Bruin Connect, even though it's from possibly from Bruin. The login will log you right in on that single sign-on function. So once you're in this financial aid portal, you can go in and you can take a look at all your documents. You can message directly with financial aid. If you have specific questions, you can upload things. There's also a lot more functions that are going to be added to this financial portal coming in spring. So there's another upgrade happening. So you're here just in time for that. You're starting at an exciting time. We always have a lot of things happening. We're always enhancing the student experience and the resources and the technology available to you. So once you are able to get into this, then you have a lot of functionality and there's always more to come. If you have further questions about how to work the financial portal, then you can go back to that help page, and it's one of those how-to guides that is available to you to browse and get a little bit more information or instruction. Speaking of funding and money and all of that fun but really important stuff, there are lots of ways for you to pay for your education. Some of you might be taking out financial aid. It's important for you to understand the academic standards of progress, the required attempted courses, dropping, withdrawing. Always speak with your student coach before you decide to withdraw or drop if you receive financial aid, to make sure you understand, or scholarships or VA benefits or corporate benefits, so that you know the potential outcome from dropping your classes. Make sure you understand if you're taking out any loans, what that really means. We really want you to be an informed decision maker when it comes to taking out loans and taking on that debt. Some debt is good debt, but we also have scholarships and grants available to a lot of students. Depending on your corporate or your military benefits, you might be eligible for more funding. So always check out the scholarships page and see if you can get logged into Community Force, which I'll show you on the website. If you go to the scholarships page, it will log you into Community Force, and Community Force is even another one of those little tiles in the Bruin Connect dashboard that will put you right into the system so you can answer some general questions to see what you might match for, depending on the criteria and the type of scholarship. So always take a look out on the website. I really briefly covered some of the financial topics, But if you go to bellevue.edu and you take a look at the financial aid, the tuition and fees pages, you can find answers to most of your questions right here, available at any time for you. And then, of course, if you don't find what you're looking for, always reach out, ask your academic advisor, or call into Bruin Support so that we can assist you as needed and we can get you the answers that you need. All right, we talked about the fun money stuff. Now we're going to talk a little bit about, that care for others that you heard some about, and some of the resources and some of the advice that you heard. You heard a lot about how important academic advising is. They're your primary point of contact. If you, for some reason, do not know who that is, go ahead and give Bruin Support a call, and they can tell you who you are assigned to. Once you're enrolled in classes, you should be hearing from your student coach very soon after to introduce themselves as your main point of contact for the duration of your degree completion. We have a lot of other amazing support services. You heard a little bit about writing and tutoring services. Those are available no matter where you are. We have amazing online support for all of our students. You can do it online from across the street, or you can do it online from across the country. Whichever way you prefer. You can get tutoring in person if you would like to. You can get tutoring through Zoom, or you can get tutoring through asynchronous online services. There's tons of options. You heard our library mentioned a little bit earlier. The library is also now in Bruin Connect. So if you're off campus, which many of you will be, you won't have to log back in to look at the databases. One of the most important things that I want you to realize is that you have a host of really amazing academic resources available to you just by clicking on the library link and going into the search function within the library. I see a lot of students in my classes that Google things, and you would be surprised at the amount of information that is out on the internet that is not vetted, if you will, through any kind of peer review process. So when you see an assignment that requires research, make sure you really understand the expectations for the sources that are required of you, and use the library. We make sure that it is stacked, fully stacked for you digitally, in order to be able to complete all of that work that's required of you in your courses. Along with that, my personal bit of advice too, in understanding how to properly choose academic sources, is also academic citation. Make sure that you pay attention to the instructions given to your for the assignment by your professors, and then use our writing center. And even online, the writing center has a lot of helpful under student support, and then writing center, a lot of helpful APA FAQs. And then there's also some information on other formats like MLA that can be a little more popular. But APA is probably the citation style that you will encounter the most here at Bellevue University. Depending on the program and the course and the faculty member, as usual, it may vary a little bit. So again, that's why it's really important to pay attention to the syllabus as well as the instructions per each of your assignments, and then use the resources for assistance. If you've been out of school for a while, a lot of writing styles might be updated or different than what you're used to, and you're just out of practice. That's exactly why we have resources here on campus to help you be successful. Sincerely, just ask for help. And we have so many people that are willing and happy to guide you through your assignments. They might be a little bit daunting and intimidating, but you can do it. Other campus resources that you have access to no matter where you are. The bookstore has a lot of cool things. You can get sweatshirts, t-shirts, hats, all that fun stuff, so you can represent no matter where you are. Career services, international services. If you're a new international student in this area, please seek them out. Make sure you get connected with them, fellow international students, and the same with any of our military and veteran students. Whether you're here and you can take advantage of the center and the community there that they build, also through the online community that they build with our students who are around the world. Like I said, student life does not just exist here on campus. We try to give you a little bit of flavor of that, even on our social media channels, so that you can feel like you're really part of this campus community here, even if you are far away. So make sure that you are connecting in and engaging with us. And you never know when we're going to give away free and fun stuff. So just follow all the social media and download that BU app so that you can take advantage and be part of that. If you are going to be here on campus, currently we do have COVID-19 restrictions. Please watch your email for a daily screening email. If you're in the area and taking in-class courses, you will receive that before you come to campus. Please answer those screening questions. If you have COVID affecting you, no matter where you are, please communicate with your professors. We pride ourselves on being student friendly and being flexible and working with your needs. So, but you have to tell us what's going on. So this is another way in which this year, of course, many people have been impacted and have needed a little bit to a lot of grace, and we are happy to do that as well. So now we're going to open it up for some questions. If you would like to put those in the Q&A, or I will ask Missy if there's anything in particular that she would like me to go back to, anything I can elaborate on or show again.
Hi, Elena. I want to maybe have you just talk about this signing up for the Bellevue University app and how that is a different process and not the same login information as all of our other systems.
Yes. So if you go to your app store, whether it's Google Play or it's iTunes, just search Bellevue University. You'll see our logo. It's everywhere behind me. And you'll see that on the little tile or the little icon in the app store. Download that, and then you'll be able to get connected, and you can find a little bit of everything on there. Let me go back to the internet. I think it is even mentioned right here on the login screen. And so if you go to bellevue.edu on your phone, you can click on either of these icons and it'll take you straight to it in each app store. What else can we answer?
We have a student asking if you can go over the breakdown of the tiles in Bruin again.
Sure. Okay, we gotta get through our Office 365 and our Blackboard. Let's just fast forward here. All right, once we are in Bruin, this is relatively similar to what you should see. This is a screenshot of mine, and I'm not a student, but I don't believe that anything else has changed since I took this recently. This profile, again, is where you can click in to sort of your bio demo information. You find out your specific email address that ends in @my365.bellevue.edu. Under the academic progress, depending on your program, you will want to log into this, take a look, but always consult with your academic advisor to make sure that everything is applying appropriately. If you are a cohort student, it's likely kind of very streamlined and simple. You might need some more electives. Maybe you didn't complete your gen eds. You still need the Kirkpatrick signature series if you're an undergraduate student. If you're a master's student, it's probably pretty simple too. Unless you had transfers, always ask about those. But if you are an undergraduate traditional student that has a fairly large or complicated major, and especially if you had transfer credits, make sure that you look at this with your advisor, student coach, so that you know that everything has applied as expected and intended. And then your little percentages are all correct too. Academic records is where you can see your course history both here at the university. Transfer credits will show as well. You can order transcripts, look at your GPA, very important, either by term or cumulative. Managed classes is where you can see what you're in now, maybe what you're registered for next. Always make sure that the term that you're wanting to see is selected when you're in there. And this is again how you can search for those books by clicking into the term. Resources and forms, as I said, if you see it, you can click it and you can kind of figure out a little bit what's in there. There's a variety of things in there, but typically it will only be upon a prompt that you will need to go in there if we tell you to go complete something for us. And then those two financial tiles that I talked a little bit about. Financial aid award does have information in there as well. If you're receiving financial aid, you could see your scholarships and grants there as well, both for the full aid year and then also broken down by term. And that is a review of those tiles.
We had a student ask about career services and whether they could get assistance in like looking for jobs. Can you talk about career services a bit?
I can. Career services on the website is under student support. And you can take a look at everything that they can help you with here. They can help you in preparing for job hunting. They can help you in figuring out what are your areas of interest, your aptitudes, what you might be best at, your strengths and all of those things. They can help you search for jobs. They can help you network. Jobs with Handshake. Handshake is a vendor we use to help facilitate looking for jobs, but also it's how we have virtual career fairs. And we actually have a virtual career fair coming up later this month. I am not going to say the date because I will say it wrong from memory, but it's 20 something that week. And it's all online. So no matter where you are, and we have employers from everywhere as well. So make sure that you go and check that out too if you are searching for a new job currently, or when you get closer to graduation and you're ready to make a change. You can see here that they will help you with interviewing. Resume building is really important skill. And then there are just lots of other resources that they have available to you. Some of them are a little bit more developmental in nature. And then others are just really good to kind of browse and to get a good feel for the market and what's going on out there. What else?
We have a student asking about the help files. Did you go over the help files option earlier?
Referring to this page?
Yes, that would be it.
Okay, so on this page, you can see there are how-to guides that are PDFs here that you can find. These are the top 10 questions. So I'll go to view my advisor report. Let's see what this says. This is fun, right? We're exploring together. So we take a look here. It talks a little bit about that section that I showed you. It gives you some other related searches. If you want to order a diploma, it can give you instructions on that. If you go back to the help page, you can see some of the top questions, the resources and services. Everything here is going to be formatted a little bit differently depending on the question and the resources available, the directions to point you to what you need to do. These top 10 questions change, they're automated. So you can always kind of tell the time of year it is or the cycle in the term based on what is showing in the top 10 questions. When it comes time for disbursement, for example, we see a lot more things in here about refunds and disbursement and checks and deposits and things like that. But right now you can see there are a lot of more generic things and there are a lot of more technology questions, which we usually see show up around the beginning of a new term happening or new cohorts starting. I hope that answered that question and that was a help.
Thank you, Elena. Can we just talk really quickly again about Blackboard and when students will have access to that?
Yes. And this is one of our most important questions that we get. You will have access to Blackboard 3 days prior to when your class begins. Every class has a little bit different schedule. So again, you can see your start dates in Bruin. When you got registered, you might have gotten an email with some of that information. And then your course is here. If it says you are not currently enrolled, but you know you're registered, don't freak out. If it's before the 3 days, that's probably what you'll see. But once the 3 days, 72 hours is here, then you should see your classes here. If you are in just one at a time, or if you're in 2 or 3 at a time, they will show here and you can click in them. And that's how you'll be able to see your syllabus first and foremost, your professor contact information, your announcements before the class begins. And then once the class starts, the week 1 will open. If week 1 has not opened at 8 a.m. on the first day of class, just wait, be patient a minute. But if by the end of the day it's not there, feel free to email your professor. That just means they got busy and forgot to turn it on. A lot of the stuff is manual if it's not programmed into Blackboard. Anything else?
Can you talk a little bit about the Talk Campus app?
Yes, certainly. The Talk Campus app, some information on the Center for Health and Safety. We have clinical counselors available to students here on campus, but those are just for local students. So if you don't live in the area, we also have, and that's for legal reasons, we also have Talk Campus mobile app. You can click here to download the app. It'll bring you to a landing page and it will tell you a little bit more about it again through either of your app stores. And it's really a peer support system. Students both at Bellevue University and other institutions participate in this. And we have this resource available to you so that you can connect with others who are going through and juggling the same things as a college student, regardless of your age or your life experiences, in order to just kind of cope and be able to find the ways in which you can find that balance between your mental health, all of your obligations. We want to make sure that you know that we see you as a whole person. If you are not a well person, then you will not do well academically. And we want to be able to provide you at least some services to the extent possible for us, no matter where you are. So you could live on campus and participate in this, or you could live across the country and participate in this. You could be 18 years old and brand new to college, or you could be 58 years old and coming back to college after a really long time out, or starting another degree. And we all have our struggles, but finding peers to connect with can be very cathartic and can help us really get through. So that's what Talk Campus is. It's not monitored by Bellevue University. If there's maybe a severe concern about a student under our institution, we will be alerted to it. But there are both peers and professionals available, to an extent, professionals available through that app. Anything else?
Will you quickly go over how to log into classes again?
Yes. If you go here to log in, if you click on this CyberActive online classroom or Bruin Connect, it will take you to Bruin Connect. Okay. I'll show you live. Hopefully it works. Courses like this new Bruin Academy course that I showed you screenshots from. This is sort of an orientation course we use for freshmen in the fall. And then this is, similar to what I showed you. This is what an announcement might look like from a professor. You'll often see this, not always in red maybe, but bolded, that the course content section doesn't open until, the start of classes. Some of your classes will have discussion boards, which is a primary way for you to engage with each other. There are varying requirements on due dates, on word counts, on citations and research and resources within discussion boards. Sometimes they're more casual, sometimes they're more formal. So pay attention to those instructions. Oftentimes you will just need to go in and introduce yourself and say hi. But then other times you'll need to write 200 words, and it has to be on something very specific, and perhaps reply to your peers, which will vary in requirements as well, depending on the class.
Can you talk a little bit about some of the clubs and organizations here on campus and maybe show where you can find that on the web?
Certainly. If you are on bellevue.edu, I would recommend looking in the app because they each have a little listing under groups and clubs. But you can also go to student support and then student life. You can look at our dining and our housing too, if you like, if you're interested, or just curious too. And that's also where one of the links to the tour video live is on the student housing page. But student life, you can meet Brutus, and you can take a look at the student organizations, student employment. If you're nearby, you can get a job on campus. A lot of these things are also available in that BU app that you can download. And so you can read a little bit more about any of these organizations. You can find who to contact, the purpose of the group. We do have a few groups because of COVID that are inactive this year. We're hoping that groups will be able to pick back up again in the fall for the on-campus groups. But there are honor society groups and more academically inclined groups, particular to certain majors like clinical counseling, like accounting. There are some other honor societies where if you take courses in certain areas, then you can gain entry to those. So always feel free to reach out. It's important to get involved no matter where you are. A lot of the academic groups are more online or they're not meeting necessarily in person or even virtually, but you just gain access to resources, information, maybe conferences, and all of those kinds of things that are disciplinary or field related. And again, that's under student support and then student life. Anything else? I think we'll just take one more topic, Missy, and then we'll wrap up. But we will also hang on a little bit. If you still have questions in the Q&A, we'll stick around for a little bit more after we wrap up the presentation here. So one more thing, Missy, or do you think we're all right?
I would say just generally, if anyone is having questions or concerns about being able to log into Blackboard or using Bruin Connect, any technical issues, you can contact Bruin support and they will be able to talk you through any problems that you're having. And the contact information is up on the screen there.
So on that login page, again, you can find the information for Bruin support. This is where you would open up a ticket, or you can call in and speak with one of the consultants in Bruin support, and they'll be able to help you with those technology things. Also on this page, we don't have it right now, but there will be maintenance, outage, and updates on this login page. So you know if something's getting upgraded and it might be down for a little bit. You could look for information on the app. We always send out tech advisories through notifications and posts on the app. So that's a way to stay connected to knowing when things might be offline for a little bit. We will always try to give you a heads up if it's a planned outage. There are some things that we don't control, like Blackboard upgrades, for example, but a lot of times they are scheduled in off hours. So again, the login page, Bruin Support Services, and their contact information is available on every single page of .edu, or again in the app, as well as at the bottom of some of our emails that we send you too. So I think that we will wrap up for the evening here. Thank you so much for attending. We hope that this covered at least some of your initial questions, gave you a little bit more confidence in hearing some of the resources and the advice that we have for you. We are available if you need any further assistance on getting ready and geared up to begin classes, or if you've already begun, if you're encountering issues or challenges along the way. Please let us know. Always ask for help, and welcome to Bev University.